Ellison Gill published a memo that was a whistleblower release from DHS on these administrative warrant applications that they can basically just walk right into your home and without a judge having seen the evidence, which is a typical search and seizure warrant, that DHS can just walk into your house and arrest you without a judicial warrant. So to kind of put this in perspective for everybody, it's if I cannot release your medical records because of HIPAA and your privacy to your medical history is more important than the privacy of your home, which is castle doctrine. Now, I mean, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know how this is going to play out with everybody. But if I can basically be fined and held liable and lose my medical license for releasing your medical records without your authorization, but DHS is allowed to basically crash through your front door into your home without a judicial warrant, really, and basically arrest you. So I I just wanted to kind of get that out there that we're losing our individual rights day by day. And it kind of had this epiphany this morning, guys. I was just like I have your medical record is actually more important than the rights to your home right now. Morning, Dana. Hey, Mason. Morning, Derek. Um, like Dana, we were talking about the loss of the Fourth Amendment right here with these administrative warrants. And I was just making the analogy that your medical record, me being a physician, that your medical record's actually more protected under federal law right now than the rights to your home. So just chew on that for a second. And remember, castle doctrine is anywhere that you are legally with your property. So if you're legally parked in your car and you're in a legal parking space and you fall asleep in your car, nobody has the right to drag you out of your car. That's castle doctrine. It applies to your property. As long as you are outside your home legally, it's castle doctrine. But your home, I mean, this is a real issue here with your people's homes. I mean, like the days of the knock warrant. Remember a few years ago in Chicago, they got busted because they were doing knock warrants and they were just pounding through the door without announcing, like Chicago PD. So they got in trouble for that. So now they have to announce, before they blow through the front door. But we're at a point. This is just, I mean, I just wanted to make the analogy with your medical records now have more protection. And in the Supreme Court was hearing arguments that your Second Amendment right, that if you have a private establishment, that somebody has more rights to carry their firearm into your private establishment than your right to bar them from entering the facility. You can put a sign on the door and then that would be okay. But according to the arguments that were at the Supreme Court on Tuesday, from what I was hearing through the reporting, that the justices were leaning toward expanding more Second Amendment rights to, like, basically allowing you to carry a firearm anywhere, even in somebody's private establishment. So, I mean, we're just getting into further and further a military type authoritarian. I can't even say we're a constitutional democracy anymore because apparently now the Constitution doesn't matter. Fourth Amendment rights gone. I mean, that is one of the most tenet basic rights as an American citizen, as a person in this country, is the Bill of Rights. Freedom of speech, and I think Kat did this the other day. She went through the 5 freedoms that you have under the First Amendment, which is, press, speech, religion, the right to assemble, and the right to petition the government. Well, Your Second Amendment right is the lawful right to carry firearms to protect your property. And then, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment, we start going down the list. This one's illegal search and seizure. So I'm trying to figure out how the DHS commissioner or deputy secretary or whatever, I can't remember his name, but like where this is literally any legitimacy to do this. Yeah, Terry, I can't remember his last name. Thanks, Derek. Um, I put it in my Substack last night, and then I reposted the actual document, and then so it took off um, the quoted document from Julie Roginski, who wrote a really good article on this last night too. Um, but medical records have more rights than your home. I didn't want to belabor this too much. I have another patient coming in. I just wanted to do a quickie and kind of get in here before everybody started their days and before everybody else started jumping on lives the rest of the day. And, but I think we're at the point now, we need to really start calling your local state representatives. You have to start calling your local city council, your local police departments. You have to call your local sheriff departments. You have to ask, how legal is this? And if your local police departments if they have an ICE agreement, if your local police departments, then this is going to be a bigger problem because the local sheriff or your local constable, local police departments are going to be lockstep with what DHS wants to do in your communities. I just try to figure out, we're not even in February yet, everybody. We're not even in February yet, and this is where we're at. I don't know how we're going to get to November. And like we keep talking about it. I know, Stephanie, you talked about the other day, Dana, it's constantly on Gen XY. We're always talking about this. And we've got 35-40% of the country that literally are not on board with constitutional rights. That they're totally okay with authoritarianism. And they're totally okay with whatever Donnie wants to do. And I think it was an exercise yesterday in Davos. We saw what the ageism does to him. He looked really old. He looked tired. He just looked like an old man who was clinging to power, and was riffing on stuff that was just really outrageously out there. He was arguing 2020 again. So we had all these discussions about Biden and his senility, but we're not even talking about Trump's senility, and he's still firing off on 2020. Like, the reality is that it's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy and idiotic, Stephanie. Totally crazy. We get to a point, I guess, and I appreciate everybody jumping on early this morning. We're getting to a point where if we don't start putting pressure on our legislators, then this is going to be a problem. The founding fathers saw this coming. What they did not foresee, and I don't think anybody of us could have foreseen, was to have a Congress that just abdicated its Article 1 authority. And somebody's going to have to explain this part to me, where as a elected official, you work your way up through your career, right? State House, City Council, you work your way up, and then you finally get to the U.S. Congress, and I said this on Egberto's show yesterday. We did a taped show. He's going to post it probably in the next couple of days. But I had said to Egberto, I said, explain how you're one of 535 people that has federal authority power. Morning, Jeremy. Morning, Neuro. That you're one of 535 people that has executive authority. That has literally like federal executive authority. How do you just abdicate that? How do you just give it away? Like, you spent your entire career to get to that point. You just give away your power. I mean, that would be me like looking at, well, yeah, obviously it's a lot of money. Um, and it's the white supremacy and it's everything else that we've been talking about and everybody's been hammering on for weeks on end. It's a psychology. It's really just a psychology of sickness. It's a psychology of a broken system and a broken country that needs help. And we need to fix this. But the only way we fix this is by having a massive majority. So, but this is, I wanted to get back to what we're talking about, which was the Fourth Amendment issues. And I try to get everybody caught up to speed because it kind of popped in. It was Jeremy, I think was late, was in neuro that we were talking. I was basically had this epiphany about 4 o'clock in the morning that when this memo came out about these administrative warrants, and I had this epiphany that your medical records are actually more secure with federal protection than your home. And that through an administrative warrant, DHS can just basically walk right through the front door or kick in the front door with an administrative warrant not signed by a judge. All right, Dana, have a good show today. Um, and if you guys aren't on Gen XY with Dana and Lawrence, please tune into their show. They start their show at 10 o'clock, which is why I'll be jumping off before then. And, but if you guys aren't subscribed to Stephanie Wilson, Stephanie's a great historian. She has Freedom Over Fascism. She's got a great channel. Highly suggest you subscribe to her as well. Um, there's a lot of really good people that have jumped in on here that if you're not following them, you need to. I am like the last one on the list, but I appreciate everybody being on this morning. So I just wanted to kind of let everybody know about that. And if you have the opportunity, take the initiative. Even you don't have to march, you don't have to protest, but if you make your calls, if you do your activism through your local police departments, your local offices, your local legislatures, and let them know how you think. Send the emails. Send the emails to your local congressperson. You know, and then don't forget everybody, Jack Smith testifying today. Thank you, Eminem. Um, it's gonna be a busy news day, so that's why I'm getting this done too. So I want to make sure we all get an opportunity to watch Jack Smith today, basically blow the top off of this administration. But I listen, like everything else, everybody, it's not going to go anywhere because of who's in power right now. So again, just be vigilant, be proactive, and protect each other, protect your communities, protect your neighbors. And I want everybody to log off of me now and go watch Jack Smith today, watch the Gen Xe show, watch watch Stephanie's lives or even stream them. I know Zev's going to be streaming it live today. So that'll be interesting to hear Zev's commentary on breaks. And again, if you're not following Zev Shalev, follow Zev, Lev Parnas, Nick Perro at Sick of This Sheet, Shane Urach at the Firebrand, Daily Whatever Show with Lawrence and Dana, Blue Ant Media with Cliff and Melissa Corrigan. Guys, we all know about Ellie. Follow Ellie. But, just keep informed and stay true to yourselves. And everybody just have a safe day and have a wonderful morning. And everybody have a wonderful day and protect each other and keep your loved ones close. Everybody have a great day.